belongs to the street.
Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Today, I got a couple of interesting stories I'll drop out for you. This woman is, I will go on to say, probably the worst human being you could ever possibly date. There's lots of things that women can do to men that put them in a bad place. You got paternity fraud, where you find out you've raised the wrong kid for a good majority of your life, thinking it was your own DNA, and it's not. Women leaving you and taking so much money that it makes you have to start over from scratch while sleeping in your car. There's lots of different things. But this one, I think, goes down as the worst one. Absolutely the worst. Imagine leaving your boyfriend who has cancer and you try to brag like you're the hero because you run marathons in his honor. I can't. It's very hard for me to comprehend this type of person. And ironically, the Daily Mail writes a puff piece about her. Not that she left him, not that she, bailed on him at the worst point of his life where he is struggling to live. But they're like, wow, look at this wonderful woman who's out there running marathons in the name of her. we're in so much trouble with this society. From the Daily Mail, my boyfriend's cancer battle was ruining my mental health, so I left him. Now I'm running a marathon in his honor. Danielle Epstein, 32, of London, said she felt awful for leaving Jell Frenson, 37. Well, I'm sure you did. Then why did you do it? But again, instantly, he's got cancer, but it's about my mental health. I need to do what's right for me. Now, after I read this, I've got, that's a dating profile of the day. That's not what I wanted to show. After that, I've got this other article I'll read that ties in very closely to this and women like this. So make sure to hang around for that. A woman running the London Marathon for her ex-boyfriend has admitted she left him because she couldn't cope with his cancer battle. Daniel Epstein, 32, was buying a house with Jell Frenson in London last year when he was diagnosed with a rare form of brain tumor at just 37. He needed a complex operation, radiotherapy, and chemotherapy and had to learn to walk again. While all this was going on, physics teacher Danielle began having panic attacks, and her mental health plummeted, so she ended the relationship. Oftentimes, guys, we'll hear from the marriage experts and scientific studies show that men that are married tend to live longer. Well, yeah, that's because usually the wife is good about making you go to doctor's appointments and keeping up on your health and things like that. So I guess statistically, but the other thing I hear all the time is that who's going to take care of you in your old age? Who's going to, you won't have a family around you, you'll be alone. Well, what if this guy, started having his struggles in his 60s or 70s and maybe was of the age he wouldn't really be able to date again, and she decided to bail on him then, or he got Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or something. See, it's not about you. It's all about me, and that's where everybody is right now. And the other point I'll get in the other story. Anyway, they said while all this was going on, I read that she moved to Thailand, but remained friends with Jell and is now running a marathon for a brain tumor charity. So she's not even running for him specifically to raise money for his operation. She's running a marathon to just support brain tumor charity in general. Can you imagine how much maybe this guy ended up going in debt or having problems with paying his bills while he was going through all this? And instead of being by his side and supporting him and helping him out, she bails and then doesn't even run it for a charity for him. Like, she didn't go so far as to even open a GoFundMe for this dude. She made it all about herself. She said she was still figuring out her friendship with Jell, adding, I felt like the most awful person, but that didn't stop me from being an a-hole. Leaving somebody because they have cancer, but it was damaging my mental health, and I wasn't helping Jell. I got to be honest, this guy doesn't look like he's missing much. You know what's funny? A lot of times they say AI will screw up fingers. Man, she got screwed up fingers as it is, she's clawing her own hip in hate of herself. And this guy, he's not a bad-looking dude. And he definitely dodged a bullet by getting away from her before they got married. The couple was buying a house in Palmer's Green, North London, when Jell, who worked as a Google software engineer, so he's making bank. Not seven figures, sorry, but six, maybe $300,000 as a Google software engineer. He began throwing up, having dizzy spells after numerous consultations with GP and ineffective treatments for an ear infection. His throwing up became much worse. He went for an MRI scan using his health insurance with Google. Doctors found a grade 4 medulloblastoma tumor, normally a cancer that affects children, and he was booked for surgery in September. So grade 4 does not sound like that sounds bad. So she says, we were on a certain path to a certain future, and within one day, we knew it wasn't going to work out like that anymore. Yeah, I mean, hearing this, the guy's probably like, I don't know if I'm going to be here anymore. Now, look, some people are like, hey, man, when that time comes, I'll gladly slip off this mortal coil. But there's a lot of us that really like being here. Whether you're religious or not and believe in something next or nothing's next, we only get one dance on this planet, right? We only get one shot at this. And to hear that the odds of your living until you're 70, 80, 90 is gone, and you may not live to see 38, and then the person you think was going to be by your side and someone you loved and cared for and you were getting ready to move in together yeets out of your life and is like, good luck. So not only does he feel isolated and scared to death probably that he's not going to be here anymore, but then he's completely alone. People just do not understand what that's like. I mean, I don't know what it's like, but I can only imagine. She's just so horrible. What a horrible person. And then making this about herself. This just pisses me off so much. She said, I was having panic attacks, and I was on so much medication to sort myself out, I just couldn't function. Me, I. Realizing they had to split up. No. There was no realization they had to split up, at least on his end. Let me correct that. Realizing she was a horrible person, she moved to Thailand with her father, but she stayed friends with him. Oh, and to keep up to date with his recovery. Oh, you're such a good human. Following his operation, Jell had nerve damage that paralyzed the right side of his face, leading to a squint that causes double vision. Okay, at least the dude lived. You know what I mean? Like at least he made it. He also can't fully close his eye and must use eye drops and ointments. Explaining her decision to run London Marathon in the name for brain tumor research, she said, I felt so helpless watching all this unfold, so I knew I had to do something. Oh, you mean like maybe stay by his side? By giving him support? By telling him you're going to be there for him? By maybe doing a marathon in the honor of him to help him pay for his bills or his struggles? Nope. It's just all about her. Here's the dude afterwards. Obviously, he has some paralysis or something going on there with the left side of his face. I feel bad for him. He is rocking a very good-looking haircut. Let's be honest, bald is beautiful. But do you think this guy's going to have any success in meeting somebody else? Like, it's already a struggle to meet somebody, and when you have asymmetry is one of the defining factors that tells somebody if they're attractive or not. This guy's going to have a struggle. He's likely going to be alone for the rest of his life. Looks like here he's holding up side of his mouth to kind of show. I feel bad for him, man. Look at this scar. That's running like from the back, like very center of your back, all the way down your neck, along your spine. She says, I'm not a runner, but Jell has done marathons before, so I thought it would be a challenge for me and a nice tribute to him, and it felt like something to aim towards. Gives her a goal, maybe this is her way of dealing with the guilt. She said, I won't be fast, but I'm determined to get around. Yeah, get around and leave the guy behind. Training has been rough physically and mentally. Training for me has been rough physically and mentally. I just keep going when you're so bored is challenging. Me. Pay attention to me. Look what I'm doing. Look what a great human I am. Let me tell you about my struggles with training. Nah, don't pay attention to him. He's just dying of cancer. Screw that guy. Listen to me. Pay attention to me. She added that money was needed to help brain cancer research. Yes, again, but I bet he needed money more. She said the UK is not a developing nation. We should, what? You're not a developing nation? It's the UK. We should be scientifically innovative, but treatments haven't changed in decades, and we seem to be behind other countries and the advances they've made. Well, there's, social medicine for you. We desperately need more research and trials to develop better treatments. Jell, who supports his ex-girlfriend's attempt to help, said, I will be there on the day to cheer Danielle on. I think it's incredible what she's doing. You, sir, are an idiot. You're a simp, you're a fool, you're weak, and you're an idiot. Because instead of calling her out on her BS, instead of saying, hey, why don't you maybe help me out a little bit? He was obviously a good provider working at Google as an engineer. Instead, he's going to be, oh, you're stunning and brave. Thank you for doing this. You know what? You deserve this in some ways then, dude. You don't deserve it. But you certainly didn't stand up for yourself and call her out on the BS. Again, another puff piece about how wonderful she is for doing this for brain cancer. He said when she said she was going to do a marathon, I must admit I had my doubts. I think she only did about 5 kilometers when we were together, and that was a lot of complaining. So she was complaining about doing a 5K, which I want to say is around 3-ish. It's 1.6. I think it's 1.6 kilometers per mile. So what'd she do, 3 miles? And she was bitching about that the whole time. Good luck on your marathon, dingbat. I've got so much respect for her and discipline and perseverance. So now he's making it about her. Danielle said, I still love Jell deeply.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, sir.
I don't think so if you can just walk away from the dude in like the darkest hour of his life. She says, I want to support him by raising money for other people, but not him directly. But I came to realize I couldn't stay with him as a partner. Why? Because he's not a provider anymore. He doesn't look so good. He's got challenges. Again, oftentimes we joke around where we say, women don't run the race with you. They wait at the finish line and want to hook up with the winner. She didn't run the race with him. She didn't even wait at the finish line for him. Instead, she moved on, and she's going to look for somebody else that's successful, will take care of her, provide. Tough luck. I care for you deeply, but also piss off. Carol Robertson, National Events Manager for Brain Tumor Research, said, we're so sorry to hear about Jell's diagnosis. While his tumor type is rare, brain cancer is not. We're grateful Danielle is taking on this huge challenge to help raise funds for our cause. Our marathon runners are supported every step of the way, and we look forward to cheering her across the finish line. Her. It's about her. Let's see what the best rated answers are. Speechless. Yeah, pretty much. Somebody else says, I suppose running a marathon is a whole lot better than standing by a friend. No. This was a boyfriend. This was a relationship. That's a lot more than a friend. She didn't even stand by him to a friend level, though. I suppose running a marathon is a whole lot better than standing by a friend in trying times. That's the world we live in now. Best wishes to the young chap. I pray he makes a full recovery. Someone else says, I personally wouldn't have left him, but stayed by his side to give him love, comfort, and support. However, we are all different. Some people can cope better than others under such pressure. Someone else says, I have no words. What a stoic guy, wishing him all the best. Best of luck to him. I can't even read this, poor chap. Yep. Well, this might be a contender for the saddest headline of all time. Yep. Here's a guy that says, sorry, my wife got stage 4 cancer and I'm sticking around because that's when you do when you love somebody. And yes, the stress is enormous. Good luck to him. I'm going to edit this in. I completely forgot about this other article that I wanted to talk about. And this very quickly, just a couple of minutes. I'm going to edit this in and then continue on as normal. This is from Unusual Whales. Almost half of the opposite sex marriages see women earning equal or more than their husbands. So now, in 55% of marriages, men still earn women as the primary breadwinners or sole breadwinners. So they're basically saying here that now women, to a large percent, like 36 or 29% of marriages, men and women earned around the same. They say women in opposite sex marriages are starting to earn almost as much or more than their husbands. However, it was found that in 55% of marriages, men still make more. In marriages where the husband out-earns their wife, husband takes home an average median, well, it's not quite the same, but a median of $96,000 compared to the $30,000 of their wife, which means the man is a big earner. In marriages where the wife was either the primary or sole breadwinner, the wife would take home a median of $88,000 compared to the $30,000 of their husbands. So the thing is, and I don't know if they give a specific percentage of the women, but it's 29% make the same, 55% men still out-earn the winners or the women. I don't know, what does that put that? Like 30 or 40% of marriages where the woman is taking home more than the man? If she doesn't need you anymore for stability, if she doesn't need you for income, if she doesn't need you for protection, because there's law enforcement, if she doesn't need you for, like, what are you for? Making babies and, raising the kids? Like, women don't need you anymore. And when a woman doesn't need a man, is there any surprise this woman like this, just says, well, I don't need you. I'm successful enough. I make enough money on my own. I'm young enough. I don't remember how old they said she was. She's 32. She's like, hey, I'm young enough. I can go out and find somebody else. I don't need you. That's just, if we're not needed, they're gonna be like men. They're gonna be like, look, I want to date a guy that is attractive and fit. And I don't care what he does or what he brings to the table, as long as he's decent to me. That's pretty much the way men date. Now women are just the same. And ironically, unattractive women would be with unattractive men, in history. But now even that's not an option because those women can at least sleep with attractive men and they think they're going to get better. I mean, that's just a sign of the times, I guess. So, when anybody, this is just another feather to put in your cap. This is another thing to be like, okay, so many times when you are a single man and you feel a little alone and a little lonely, you say, oh, I wish I had a girl and a family, wife, white picket fence on the hill. Yeah, maybe you can get that. Or maybe you can get somebody like this that'll leave you in the darkest moment of your life because they're stressed out. What do you think the stress he was going through? Having to maybe deal with the realization that your life is coming to a close. And nowhere in this article were they critical of her or called her out for this or made mention or even asked her like, wow, you're a horrible human being for doing this. Nope. Stunning and brave. What a great job you're doing raising money for other people. What an awesome human being. Good for you. I just can't, man. I just can't. If you're here on YouTube, make sure to join me over on, just go to Rumble. If you're on YouTube, get over to Rumble. Matt Walsh, who many of you know, Matt Walsh, he did the What is a Woman documentary. He's leaving YouTube because YouTube said they're going to start banning his videos and removing him for using the wrong pronouns in the LDHD TV community. He said, I'm going by biology. I'm not doing this anymore. He's leaving YouTube. Steven Crowder left YouTube. Whether you love them or hate them, whatever. The point is that if you don't talk to a certain narrative, they're going to remove you or silence you or demonetize you or something. It's going to happen to most of the content you guys watch on here at some point. So make sure to get over to Rumble at least. And if you're not on Rumble, then join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com where we will be doing the dating profile of the day.